Welcome back to our little channel and welcome to another Thibi replay. This time, Thibi is playing the Super Hellcat, the tier 7 rewards tank that everybody got, I don't know, a few years ago. I honestly don't remember. Anyway, Sand River, am I correct? Sand River encounter, and Thibi always likes to come up here. I never do, so this is going to be a learning experience for me. So the first customer is Scorpion G. Thibi is very confident in his camo, to be fair, but it held out. So will the Scorpion make a second turn? And yes, that did hit. Well done, Thibi. This is impressive. At this point, I would be just turning around, happy with the damage I've done, but Thibi knows, because he's experienced here, and Thibi knows he can wait here for some slower tanks. Shooting the ML behind those bushes means he is not going to get spotted, so nice use of the spotting mechanics there. Is there really going to be anybody else crossing this late? Oh yeah, there is. Nice. SKB1S is not going to have the view range to spot Thibi here. Did he shoot behind the bush? Did he not? Tough to say. Thibi seems very confident. The Emil trying to move on, still too close. And this position is really working out for Thibi. I was going to say I need to learn this, but I don't play Encounter. I personally think that the Encounter mode, either the map plays out exactly the same as the standard battle mode, or it's flat out worse. So I just have it turned off, so I don't play it too much. Is there going to be more customers even then? Thibi is going to take a blind shot into a bush. Hard to say if that helped. Interesting to note that Thibi is running exhaust, optics, and the aiming unit, whatever it's called, the one that shrinks your circle, your aiming circle. So no rammer. Interesting choices. I would probably play a rammer on my Super Hellcat. But again, Thibi does a lot of things like slightly differently, and a lot of the time it does work for him. And as we can see, he does have 2 stars in his gun barrel. So it is working on him. 1300 damage so far. Thibi is moving up on this flank to take a different sniping position. Sniping is a tough thing to say right now, because we don't know if there's going to be anyone around here. But Thibi is very confident that there's not going to be anyone on this flank. Again, I would have been a bit more careful. Thibi is usually the most adventurous of the 3 of us, taking the shot as a Scorpion, which doesn't connect, but he has the time to get into cover in time. Loading an HE shell for the Scorpion, I approve. And Thibi is going to use these bushes in the back, which can be very nice if the enemy isn't close enough. And these bushes can allow you to take some shots. Not this time, the Scorpion is a bit too close, and I'm gonna say the Scorpion spotted Thibi and not the Burza, because the Burza is quite a blind tank. But let's see, Burza probably makes it the safety now, and Scorpion doesn't want to get it again. The Burza makes an appearance, and as I said, a blind tank that cannot spot Thibi unless he fires. And the Scorpion is still trying to find him. But meanwhile, Thibi's team completely lost the other flank, and they are at a gun disadvantage right now. They are capping, but this being Encounter, capping takes a lot of time, so the enemy team has a lot of time to respond. There's a TVP that doesn't spot Thibi, and only after he fires does the TVP spot Thibi back. So, look into the map. Yeah, it's probably a good idea to increase the distance to the red tanks at this point, and let's find some more shots. Beautiful shot at the middle there. Burza being so close and still not spotting Thibi. That is amazing. But again, Burza is a very, very blind tank. 300 meters! And Thibi can still shoot him and the Burza cannot spot him. That is amazing. The KV-3 having quite a bit of armor on the turret, so was unlucky. The Scorpion is still trying to find Thibi. Well, found it. He doesn't spot him even now? Wow. Is the Super Hellcat so much sneakier than I thought? Maybe the Scorpion probably looks like it doesn't run optics, which I think I do on my Scorpion. But still, Thibi's team being at a disadvantage. That TVP was dangerous, so it's a good thing that Thibi managed to take him out. And Thibi is on 2,300 damage right now. The counter in the bottom left corner turning purple, which I hate. And myself, I have that color changing turned off in my game, but I don't think I can do that in replays. So I will read it for you if that's not readable enough. It's barely readable enough for me, to be fair. That's why I turned it off in the first place. So, 6 tanks versus the enemy's 9. Of course, there's 2 RTs on either side, so you could say it's 4 versus 7, more or less. Thibi is going to use this push and try to wait for the Scorpion, who is probably still looking for him. Okay, 3 getting spotted in the middle, going for the gap. And Thibi is going to take the risk, get into the open and try to find a shot at a KV-3. And his team nicely getting rid of the buildings and allowing Thibi to take his 3rd kill. Wow, the Skoda just catching the edge of Thibi's turret and killing his gunner, I believe. And Thibi probably needs to get it out because the enemy team now knows where he is. And those 3 tanks are going to try and push him. There we go. The Skoda going for it. So, who's next? The Burza should be somewhere close. 87 and the Crocodile on the enemy team haven't been spotted yet. Again, the Burza blindness comes to play. That tank has no view range and Thibi is running a bounty exhaust. So that makes it possible for Thibi not to get spotted in this situation. And as you can see, the Burza was really going to check that bush from close range. So, only 2 enemies were last spotted on this flank. Of course, a Scorpion can easily take off almost 500 damage in one shot from Thibi. So he has to be very careful not to get hit by that. And Thibi is going to make his way into the middle. There's a spot. And the optics that Thibi is carrying are paying off. Another 200 damage spotted on the Skoda. And the Skoda is going to have to fall back a little bit. Thibi is going to try to use his camo and his view range in the middle of the map now to try to spot some of the enemy tanks remaining. We still don't know... Oh no, that's not good. Oh, there's a Scorpion in the front. And he spotted the S-51 moving up. This was an unconventional way down this cliff, but it worked out. And Thibi is now waiting for the Scorpion to make a push. Scorpion will not go down in 1 hit, he will go down in 2 if this HE will pen. Very nicely done. Thibi made sure not to hit the turret, but to hit the not to hit the gun, but to hit the turret. Otherwise, there would be a good chance of Thibi not killing off the Scorpion, and that could be a disaster. But now, luckily, it was a very much low roll for the Scorpion, only damaging Thibi for less than 400 damage. So potentially he can still take some shots from the smaller guns on the enemy team. But he only has 300 points left now. So he's a one-shot for the enemy Scorpion. He could be taken out by a good shot from the enemy arties. But now the game is even on guns. And let's see who gets spotted next. Okay, view range comes into play again. Good shot at the 87. Thibi gets spotted and he doesn't want to stay around for too long. But his team makes short work out of the 87. The WZ is specifically taking a big bite out of him. And now the hunt for the second Scorpion begins. Where is he going to be? Is he going to be all the way to the west? I mean all the way to the east? Or all the way to the west, actually? Škoda gets spotted on the enemy hill again, and Thibi is going to try to find a shot at him. So let's see. The Super Hellcat takes aim. Super Hellcat gets spotted. But Thibi shoots in time to kill the Škoda and get into cover. Is this crocodile AFK? That crocodile looks AFK to me. I would be still careful and not take these chances. The Scorpion could literally just jump out of it. Oh, there he is. He's spotted next to the RT and he has just taken Thibi's RT out of the game. So now Thibi knows that the Scorpion is away and he can go after this crocodile who seems to be AFK. Well, we thank you for this donation. We still have to be careful about the enemy RTs. One try to Thibi. And Thibi doesn't want to sit stationary. That was friendly RT, just missing the AFK crocodile. And Thibi is, by all rights, a bit nervous about the enemy RTs taking a shot. So Thibi keeps moving while he's slowly chipping the hit points away from this AFK crocodile. Was very close from the right side, from the S51, I want to say. Meanwhile, the enemy Scorpion is hunting for the rest of the RTs. And Thibi's team is capping that down. So let's see if Thibi still has the time to get some more use of his 5 remaining shells. The Scorpion gets rid of Thibi's friendly RT. There's an S51 on the right, and Thibi... I think he realized the WZ was going to get him, and he's racing over against the cap timer to still get a shot at the Scorpion, or maybe finding the Hummel as well. Oh, there's the Scorpion. The Hummel is behind Thibi, but Thibi wants to get rid of the Scorpion. And I think the enemy RT actually manages to reset the cap before the WZ can find him. Thibi is going to wait for the Scorpion to cross. Scorpion doesn't have a lot of camo, but I'm not sure Thibi would spot him. But let's see if Thibi can come around and take his 7th kill. And he's amazingly on more than 4,000 damage on a tier 7 reward tank. There's the Scorpion. He's trying to take a cheeky out, a cheeky... Oh, I was very close. I was going to say that the Scorpion is trying to take a cheeky route around the back of those rocks. Thibi doesn't want to risk it getting hit by the Scorpion, so he's going to wait for him a bit more. Time is of the essence. The friendly team is capping, so any more shots he can take out of the Scorpion are just more XP and more damage done. There's 50 seconds on the game timer, there's 35 seconds on the cap timer, and Thibi is going to try to find his 7th kill. He's over 5,000 damage now on this counter. That is amazing. And the Scorpion is running away, and that shell will find the back of his turret. What a game! What a lovely game. A beautiful ace. A top gun with 7 kills, high caliber tank sniper, all of that. 5,900 damage, if I'm reading that correctly. And over 2,200 XP done. That is amazing. What a game Thibi has had. Lovely to see, lovely to watch. I really enjoyed this one. And if you did enjoy it as well, let us know in the comments. And meanwhile, have a good rest of the day. Bye.